So BTech just released their brand new GMRS-50PRO. This is a 50-watt GMRS radio, and it is also the cheapest 50-watt mobile radio on the market. In today's video, I'm going to be unboxing this and taking a closer look at the brand new 50-watt radio from BTech. Stay tuned if you're interested in checking this thing out. What's going on, guys? Welcome back for another video. If you're new here, my name is Chris. Right behind me we have the Fortune Taco here, and on the tailgate of the Fortune Taco, as you already saw in the intro, a brand new 50-watt radio from BTech Radios. For a couple of years now, BTech has been a very proud sponsor of the Fortune Taco build and the YouTube channel. They just dropped a brand new 50-watt radio. It's packed with features, and it's the most affordable 50-watt radio on the market to date. So today I'm just going to be unboxing this. We're going to take it all out, check everything out, kind of briefly go over it, and in a future video I'm going to be installing it in the Fortune Taco. If you're interested to see more on this radio, be sure to hit that subscribe button, and you'll be able to see all the videos I'm creating featuring this radio, or check out my previous videos and see all the other BTech equipment I have put in the truck. Let's get to opening this thing up and check out this brand new 50-watt radio. On the remote here, you can see you have all the buttons, all the controls you need. You have an LED screen here, but everything you need to operate the radio is on the remote, not on the radio. So, biggest benefit here is that you can mount this wherever you want, under the seat in the center console. It can be out of sight, out of mind. You don't need access to this at all while using this radio. In the past, I had the Generation 1 50-watt radio on my truck. All the controls were on this radio, so this unit had to be accessible to be able to change the volume, to change the radio stations. I ended up downgrading to their 20-watt radio because it had a remote with all the controls built in, so I can tuck my radio away and have it out of sight and out of mind. BTech just dropped their newest 50-watt radio, and I was very happy to see they integrated everything into the remote controls. So once again, we're gonna have 50 watts of power, which is insane. You can tuck this thing away, and all your controls are right here. So here's gonna be our mic controller unit. That is very, very nice looking. Looks like a volume up and down here on the top. That's your talk, your power. There's gonna be some other function we'll have to look at. Another function, it's probably 2 function buttons. And then these are probably gonna be all your buttons related to whatever you're doing on the screen. I don't know where the speaker's at, where you're actually gonna be getting your stuff from. Speaker might be built in here, we'll find out. I see the microphone here, but I don't really see any spot where a speaker, let's see, multifunctional speaker microphone. I don't know if the speaker's just built in so you can hear it from here, but this does say it's a speaker microphone, so this should have both. I just don't really see a grill or a grate or anything where your speaker would be coming out. I also notice on the back here, it is flat with no mount. I hope we have something here to add. What do we have here? Because when I got the current radio I have in the truck now, the 20-watt radio, it didn't have any type of typical CB mount on the back of the microphone, and that was my biggest gripe with it. I ended up making a second video modifying and adding a CB radio clip to the back of it so I could still hang it up in my truck. Yeah, it looks like that's gonna go in there. And that's a lot smaller than your typical CB clip, so they're changing the clip styles on the back of their radios that aren't universal. They're like their own, so this isn't your typical like CB mic mount. I don't know if you can tell, but that's a lot smaller than a CB clip. Now you have to use their bracket. You can't use any universal mic mounts. So I'm already pointing out one negative with this. I don't know why BTech is doing this. This is the second radio I've now had that has a different clip than your traditional CB clip. Don't know why that is, but it's a little frustrating. We have a little bag of hardware here. I'm assuming this is gonna be for all mounting, installing the radio and stuff. We got a couple extra fuses. This is probably gonna be the actual radio unit. All this plastic and packaging and... All right, so here's the unit itself. Nice heat sink. There's actually a little built-in fan. I haven't seen that before on a BTech radio. There's only one connection in the back, actually. This isn't labeled, so this might be an output, an audio output to add an additional external speaker. This is gonna be where the antenna goes. Always covered up there. Your power cord with dual fuses. Another thing I'm a little confused about, I'm no expert, but I've never seen a fuse on a ground line. They have dual fuses, one on the power and one on the ground. I don't know why that is. I've never seen that before, but you got dual fuses, and let's see what these are. 15 amp. So they're both a 15 amp fuse, which is what those two replacements are. The front of the radio here is very, very just basic. There's the logo here, power, transmit, and receive. So I'm assuming these are all just indicator lights. We have a little rubber gasket cap here covering up what says USB. So with the USB, I know it's probably gonna be power out, and it might also be for any type of software updates. And then this is where the microphone is going to attach to. There is a little tiny groove in here, so this can only go in one way. Make sure to not force that in there. And then there's a little screw-on retainer to keep that secured. That goes on very simple. Comes with a mounting bracket, as they typically do. It's gonna attach on here with some hardware, and then you take that bracket and you mount it to whatever area in the truck you want, the dash, wherever it may be in your vehicle. Typically where I install my radios is on my MOLLE panels inside, but we'll be going over that in a later video. All right, and last thing here inside the box is gonna be our power wire. So on one end, you have a connector, which goes to this power wire coming off the radio. And the other end, it's kind of cool, they just have bare leads. So you can attach any type of connectors you want on here, depending on the application and how you're gonna wire this up. So you can wire this directly to your battery if you'd like, because this is fused. It is gonna always have constant power. You can wire it to a switch controller if you wanted to do that. So then you can turn it on and off when you choose. The way I typically have mine run in my truck is the power is going directly to battery, but I have it set up on a relay system that is connected to an ignition source. So it only has power to the battery when my truck is turned on. So there is gonna be an app from BTech, and they have two different apps. One is a GMRS programmer, one's a UV programmer. This is a GMRS radio, so the UV app will not be relevant, but the GMRS programmer is relevant to this radio. You can download the app, connect via Bluetooth, and you can change all your settings, you can update software, you can do all that kind of stuff through the app on your phone, which is pretty convenient. That's just another feature that is packed into this unit, which kind of makes the price crazy, honestly, but this is, like I already mentioned before, the most affordable 50-watt radio on the market, and I've been running BTech for years, and I've never had any issues with their products. So just a note, there is one thing to make this function properly that does not come with the kit. I mentioned it before when I was kind of going over the radio, the antenna. There is no antenna in the 50-watt kit. Now I'll show you what I run. So I run the stubby little ghost antenna, and this is gonna be from Midland Radio. I have it mounted up with a Mohawk Designs bracket here. The wire then runs down my windshield and goes through the firewall into the truck. I'll leave a link for the antenna and the cable down below, or you can do some research and find other options out there. That's just what I personally use, and that's what I like. That is gonna wrap up today's unboxing. Just a quick, brief little video taking this thing out for the first time and showing you all the contents that's included, going over a couple basic features, but for today's video, it's just an unboxing showing you the kit contents and just getting a chance to show off this new radio for people that might be interested in purchasing one yourself. If you want to get this new 50-watt BTech radio, I will have a link down in the description below, straight to the BTech website. If you guys have any questions about BTech's new 50-watt Pro, drop a comment down below. I try my best to reply to every comment that is left on my videos. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to drop a thumbs up. It helps the video be more successful. And don't forget, if you haven't subscribed to the YouTube channel yet, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you can see anytime I release future content. Thank you guys for tuning in and sticking around to the end. I appreciate you, and I hope to see you on the next video.